Hello again. This is my second video of today. Welcome to Cassie's Corner. I'm Cassie. I'm here to read from the Daily Stoic, and the reason I do this is that it helps me reassign my brain into thinking good and positive thoughts. It helped me to realize that what I cannot control, I cannot control. So why worry about it? Why fuss about it? Why get upset over things that I can't control? And then there are things that I can control, and the better things that I can control are just me. Me. It's my thoughts. It's my opinions, my behavior about certain situations. I can not like somebody if I want to, but now I'm more like not focusing on liking or not liking someone. I'm enjoying the situation that we're in, and I'm not focusing on what other people say. I'm not focusing on what other people do. I was really proud of myself. In my first video today, I said that I had a situation yesterday where I had used uh the exercises in here, and I dealt with the situation pretty well, and I was pretty proud of myself. We do awesome things sometimes as people, especially when we change. We are very strong, and you are worthy. You don't have to be upset. You don't have to be depressed. I don't feel like we were made to be depressed. Please like and subscribe if you want to. Leave a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, leave me a comment to let me know where you're from. Let me know if any of this affects you. And I would most importantly, like really appreciate it because I would reach more according to YouTube's rules. I would reach more people, and that would delight me so much. I would love for all of this. Is not anything new. It's not something I come up with. It is a very old, ancient thing to be a Stoic. I'm not a philosopher. I said that in my earlier video. Also, I'm not a philosopher, but I will practice in the philosopher uh, ways of life because I believe that that is the best way to readjust your mind and regain the strength that you once had. You had a clear thinking at one time. You were happy at one time, whether it be in childhood. I always said that. I was always happy in my childhood. Nothing ever bothered me, especially like grown people would say that. Nothing bothers you. Everything rolls off your back. And then all of a sudden, click, it was like everything bothered me. I took offense to everything. I shouldn't take offense to what people think and what people say. I shouldn't take offense to how the other world lives. That's not how we should live. Why are we so obsessed and so offended by how other people live, how other people treat their family, or how people treat other people? Of course, if there's really abuse, then I would most likely be offended. But if they're like just having a different behavior, a different custom of life, then why should I be upset? Why should I be angry? And why should I let it bother me? They're not bothering me with the way they live. What bothers me is in my mind. So, and that I really do concentrate on living. I was reading it. I did do a video, and I read like 6 minutes into it, and I thought, this sounds familiar. I've thought I've done this before, but I looked back and I did not do this. I don't think so. So if this is a repeat, I'm really sorry, but I thought this was just it needed to be said. It needed to be out there. And again, this was from the weekend that I went to go see Freckles. We took off Valentine weekend, and we went to go spend some time with him, and I was so grateful. And then he'll be here in a couple of weeks, so there's that. Freckles makes me happy. Freckles makes me awesomely happy. It says, clear your mind and get a hold on yourself. As when awakened from sleep and realizing it was only a bad dream upsetting you, and wake up and see that what's there is just like those dreams. And Marcus Aurelius said that in his Meditations. And then it goes on to say, the author Raymond Chandler was describing most of us when he wrote in a letter to his publisher. I never looked back, although I had an uneasy periods looking forward. Thomas Jefferson once joked in a letter to John Adams, how much pain have cost us the evils which have never happened? Just a thought. And Seneca would put it best. There is nothing so certain in our fears that's not yet more certain in the fact that most of what we dread comes to nothing. Ding, 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 ding. I thought that too. I worried so much about everything when I was depressed and just scrambled over stuff that it didn't matter. Why was I worrying? Nothing happened. Anyway, many of the things that upset us, the Stoics believe, are a product of the imagination, not reality. Like dreams, they are vivid, realistic at the time, but preposterous once we come out of it. In a dream, we never stop to think and say, does this make sense? Never. Yes, I do. No, we go along with it. The same goes with our flights of anger or fear or other extreme emotions. Getting upset is like continuing the dream while you're awake. Um, the thing that provoked you wasn't real, but your reaction was. And so from the fake comes real consequences, which is why you need to wake up right now instead of creating a nightmare. All of this I totally agree with. All of this I remember. I had, as I read this to you, I remember thinking, or I remember instances where I was upset for no reason. Uh, Situations, yelling at people, screaming, going out of my mind, flying off the handle, as I say. It really was for nothing. I wasted as I say that all the time, I wasted so much energy and so much time being mad or angry or upset or aggravated about absolutely nothing. Nothing. So, the Stoics are aware of this, and they want you to keep this in mind as you're doing your best to alter your thinking and your ways of believing and the ways that you deal with your depression. I'm not saying that everybody is just going to hear these pages and just come out of it. It doesn't work like that. It really takes a long time and I say this every day, I think, from my first compliment to myself to now is about 6 years. It is about 6 years. And I remember I was reading in some diaries, some old calendars a couple of days ago, trying to get rid of things like out of this room that was taking up space. One of them being old journals and old depression stuff that I didn't want to deal with anymore. But I was reading through some of it, and I was like, wow, I felt this way in 2024. I cried all day. And it says that. I wrote it in my journal. It's in my handwriting. I cried all day in 2024. I never cry anymore. Never ever, because I am of the belief that Stoicism has it right. I'm not the philosopher, but I will practice the philosophy because I feel like it is best for me to train my brain to know what I can control and what I can't. It is better for me this way. It is easier for me this way to grab on to knowing my control and exercising my own control than to wallow in my own self-pity for no reason. Okay. I've been angry at people. I've been mad at people. I've hated to be around people. I've hated to wake up. I have hated to go out in public. I have hated, hated with the passion to get up and get ready for anything. Uh, and now, I mean, I'm sitting around the house. There's no way that I can get up and make myself up all the time, and because I don't really don't go anywhere, and all I do is housework. Me and my daughter were talking about that the other day, that she knows people that get up and put up their makeup and get dressed, and they still sit around the house all day. That we should be more like that. Well, I haven't got the grasp of that yet, but we're working on it. And I keep telling her every day, good things are coming. She's had a rough couple of months, and I feel like I just her and I were mechanics at one time. I was a diesel mechanic, and she went behind me and became a car mechanic. And her car has not started. She inherited a car from her sister. When my other daughter got a new car, so she gave her the old car. Well, it wasn't cranking; the battery had died, and my daughter, the mechanic, got out there and twiddled with it today and got it to crank and got it to run. And that was one of the things that was kind of holding her back and not letting her have any motivation whatsoever. I was so proud of her. But she went out there and she did it herself. She didn't wait on anybody else. And that is that spark. That is that that is where you are saying to yourself, I don't want to be this sad anymore. I don't want to live in the hard times that I think I have had. And I'm not saying that you didn't have bad times, because there are some bad times for depressive people. There's something that has affected them, that has traumatized them into believing that nothing is good anymore. But and again, I'm not negating your feelings, because your feelings are real. You're allowed to feel the way that you feel. However, they may not be as may not be as strong as you think you remember. Your imagination may have made it worse. Or, like, okay, my mom slapped me once and told me she hated me. And whereas I was a 4-year-old child and she was a young girl, I have taken that and I have twisted it in every sort of situation as, okay, my mom hates me. I'm not sure that I'm not wrong about that. She resents me. I'm not sure I'm not wrong about that either. Um, she just, I have to look at it now like she was a young mother, in pain, pregnant, and I was being a pain in the butt myself. So I kind of caused it, but still, she was my mother, and that's not something she should have said, and it's not something that should have happened. But that's how that is. See, I have a better grasp on on that memory, even though I've always, like, for years, thought of it as the worst thing ever. Um, I really think that this stoicism thing has there are many other people here on YouTube that do the stoic thing, and it's just marvelous if you go and witness what they're saying and seeing uh how powerful this stuff can be. There's a lot of uh celebrities. I'm not into the celebrity thing as much anymore because I am older, and I realize that they chose their job, but outside of their job, they still have a life. But a lot of people are gravitating back to the stoicism the old way because it is easy. It is easy to see what is right and what is wrong, because you are controlling what you can and you're forgetting what you can't. Not necessarily forgetting, but knowing that just letting it go. Let go of what you cannot control. That's traffic, that's rain, that's other people's opinions, that's other people's mouths opening. You can't fight everybody that opens their face. There would be World War III if we did something like that. And that's just, we can't do that all the time. We can't be mad at something, for something somebody says. So they said it or they thought it, but does that take away that friend? No. Does that take away that you have shared some pretty crazy moments? No. No, you're all still friends, and the person probably thought this way before, but you heard it, and it gave offense for you. So now you're doubting things, and it's the same person that was there before. They just said their opinion. It's just my thought, just how I feel. But this stuff is awesome. Just this stoicism. I do need medicine. I do still take medicine, but there are a lot of behaviors that I had even while still on medication that I don't have anymore. Like I said, I can enjoy time with people that I didn't enjoy before. So there is that. I do hope that everybody is having a wonderful day and that the weather is 72 degrees here and the sun is shining, and I'm ecstatic. I am so happy spring is coming. The only thing is I let my garden go. So I don't know if I'll have another time to get into it where it'll be cold. Uh, and I can really get into it like I'm supposed to. So we're gonna work with that. Everybody breathe. Good things are coming. I keep repeating that to my daughter because she got out there and she worked on her car, whereas she was sitting around waiting for somebody to come along and work on it for her. She went out there and did it herself. See, she's depressed. Like I said, she's been through a heck of a couple of months. So for her to get out there, I was so proud of her. Uh, Good things are coming. Good things are coming. Spring is coming. Summer is coming. Summer love, spring, everything happy is coming. Come on, people. We can do this. Get with it. Get it together. Wake up from those dreams. Stop thinking bad things. Okay, and we are still writing in our journals, the daily journals, the morning journals, listing what you want to do, listing what you want to accomplish, listing things that are a goal of yours to kind of practice, maybe. And then at night, you're writing about the things that upset you, how you reacted, who you reacted to. Did you react to the situation or to the person that maybe you did not like? There's a clue right there. A lot of people don't work, they have a bad day and they got mad. Maybe it was because they didn't like their coworker and not necessarily the situation. That's something to think about because I did do that a lot. Say your affirmations. Affirmations are wonderful. Start with something small, start with something positive, something cool. Oh, my daughter thought she was going to come through the door. List of all the things you're grateful for, no matter how stupid it is. It could be air. It could be, I mentioned a toothpick, the straw. People could be happy for straws. Never mind. It just, once I started writing that grateful journal, I just kept going and just listening how many things I was taking for granted because I forgot to be grateful that these things had been invented or that they were even there. And they're simple things. The toothbrush. Don't forget to find somebody you appreciate. Let them know. Don't let it be false. People know when you're snowing them. People know when you're lying to them. People know when you are not being. There's a word I'm looking for. Give me a minute. Those files are just going. Authentic. Megan's word. I had to take Megan's word right out of her mouth. People know when you're authentic. They actually do. Sorry. That's how my brain works. And compliment yourself. Don't forget to love yourself. You are worthy of all the love that you have. Don't give it to somebody else. Give it to you first because you cannot fill another person's cup with an empty cup. Common practice. Come on, people. We can do this. I really, really would love to see all the smiles when I walk in the world. And I know I can see in their eyes what a sad person, where a sad person is. I can see which of us are having because I've been there before. I know how to hide how I feel, and I know how to disguise myself into enjoying whatever. I know how to do that. I've been there, done that. So when I walk in the streets, I can see who is having a hard time. I really can. I mean, I can't really, hey, how are you doing? I do try to compliment them when I do get to see them, especially when I worked, out in the public. I had to go off my station and say, hey, I need to say something to this person because it was important for me to, you never know how much a compliment means to somebody. You never know. You never know. You could have brightened their day. You could have kept them from feeling unworthy or unloved or anything of that nature. Is really important that you get to be that way when you yourself feel better about yourself. So anyway, there's all of that. I do hope everybody has a wonderful work week. Again, thank you for the second video. I'm glad to be here with you. I'm glad that you're watching. I'm glad if anybody takes anything away from this, even if I reach just one person, I'm glad. I'm happy, but I really would like to grow a little bit more. And once all my words, if they would stop just like breaking right before they get to my tongue, I would be great. I mean, I'm a great reader. Never mind. Don't want to go into it. I just feel like I'm just stuck on certain thoughts because I want to get my point across before I start introducing like big words. Because I can say big words. I know how. Maybe. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, and I will see y'all next time. Bye bye.